Okay, everybody, welcome back to the studio. This is Natifa, and today we're working on a Valentine's Day themed envelope. I'm going to be using kind of, not necessarily just reds and pinks or traditional Valentine's Day colors. I wanted something really bright, and so I'm opting for a yellow. So this is a mustard seed distress oxide ink. And if you saw, I added some water to it because I want this to oxidize when I actually paint this on and it dries. I'm using an envelope that I created. If you don't know how to create envelopes, I have a video on my channel you can go back and watch. I'll link it up so you can see it there. But I'm painting this just with my paintbrush and adding some water as I go along because water and distress oxide is love. We all know that. So that's what I'm doing here. And just as a side note, I'm using just watercolor paper from like a Michaels, whatever. That's just regular watercolor paper. You can use whatever weight you want. I believe this one is like I think 100 pound or 90 pound weight watercolor paper. And it's one of my favorite things to use when I'm making envelopes. So next, I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to glue my envelope together. I love to use a hot glue gun because it's just super fast. I don't have to worry about, if it's going to stick or not. I've just not had a lot of luck with glues outside of my tacky glue that I love to use. And so for me, the hot glue gun has been consistent. It's quick. I get in there, I glue my project together and I'm on my way. It's paper. So I think the hot glue gun just works for me. So that's what I'm doing here. With that. So next up, I'm using this stamp set to add some Valentine's Day imagery to my my envelope. I'm spritzing it with water because I want to do a water lift from the envelope from the oxide ink, and so I'm using a spritzer type water. I just got it at Walmart. They sell them for 2 for $8, and it kind of it's a mister, mits the water onto your stamp, and it's not like these huge droplets. It's a very fine mist, and I'm just wiping around the stamp because I don't want any of the extra drips from that to get onto my envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp that here with my Misty. And push that down. Just be really careful that you're not smudging it around because you don't want your image to get smudged because you really can't fix it, to be honest. And so after I lifted it up, I have some water. You can see I darkened the image so you can see that. And I'm just going to grab a paper towel and I'm going to kind of lay it on top of the stamped image and kind of lift that water off. And you will see what it looks like when I'm done. And there you go. So I'm just going to go around the entire envelope and just stamp all of it using the same method and whatnot. So that's what I'm going to do next. So you can kind of see here what I was trying to do. I just really wanted a light lift with the water to kind of just have that image on there. I didn't want it too prominent on the envelope. And so that's kind of what that technique is. So I'm going to go back in here and do the rest of it, the front flap, and we can kind of go from there. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start stamping out my images, my hearts. I'm doing kind of I feel like it's like a burst of hearts on the envelope from what you saw on the image. So I'm going to go through and stamp all of these different stamps from the stamp set we're using. And we can just get a variety of sizes and colors of images. And I'm going to list the colors that I'm using for the oxide ink pads. Okay, next I decided to start cutting these out because I wanted to see if I had enough hearts for my envelope rather than just, keep stamping hearts. I was like, I don't want to do any extra work. So let me just see if I have enough hearts here. And then we can kind of go from there. So I'm going to just cut these out. All right, so next I'm going to use some distress ink to distress the outside of the envelope, just like the edges and the corners, just to sort of make it look a little bit more vintagey and distressed, because as I always say, distress is life. So I'm going to do that. And I'm kind of, getting ready to start organizing my hearts. You can see them to the left there, and kind of putting this envelope together. So I'm also going to be distressing my hearts, again, just to kind of give them that vintage look and tie it into the envelope. And after that, I'm going to start gluing these down. Now, I will just say that you can kind of follow what I did, or you can just do whatever looks good to you. If you want them kind of in a very sequential, organized, linear way, you can do that. I am kind of going for this kind of like starbursty from the inside out of the envelope. So you'll see how I kind of layered the different hearts onto the envelope, but just kind of watch and play along and see how I created this. Okay, so we're looking good, and I'm kind of just taking a look at my envelope to see if I like what I'm seeing. And I am like, I kind of want to add some more of those, the stamped, lifted stamps on the front. I don't typically do the fronts of my envelope. I don't know why I don't do that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But for this instance, I thought it would look much better if I stamped the front of the envelope or the back side, the flap side, and added some, that it created that lift that I have on the back side of it, just to kind of create more cohesion in the envelope. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so here we have our envelope. I love this. I think it's just super cute. And we're going to add a little bit more to this, but this is what the actual envelope looks like with all the lifted stamped image, the hearts, the different colors and everything. And then we're going to just add another saying to it and we'll be done. So let's do that. And I'm just going to use some dimensional tape here just to raise this saying off of the hearts on the back of this. Now you can put this wherever you want to, depending on where what your image or your background looks like. So I'm just putting mine in the middle because that's where I want to put it. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so this is our final piece. I love how this turned out. I think it's a fun and vibrant Valentine's Day card that's not necessarily just red, yellows, or I'm sorry, red or pinks or whatever. I love that pop of yellow with it. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll talk to you all next time.